A little frustrated. I mentioned in other videos that I'm having problems with my left shoulder, and that's due to my job driving forklift, and my left arm is my steering arm. There's no other way to operate those lifts. And basically, for a recap, it's a stand-up electric forklift, and you steer with your left arm, and then you operate the forks with your right, and that can't be changed. So November and December, I was full-time propane, wasn't driving a lift. My arm was fine, no problems. And then in January, I went back to my normal job, which is driving forklift. And then my arm started to really tweak. I could feel shit happening in there, and it was getting worse and worse. Now, some days were worse than others. I didn't report it. I was supposed to, but I didn't. Like I said, some days are worse than others, and I would just grind through my day and work and get the job done, and I'd come home and basically ice my shoulder, use a percussion massager on my shoulder, take a handful of Advil and Tylenol, and, you know, get on with my day. Doing the propane job doesn't aggravate my shoulder at all. I'm not lifting past my waist, and my arms are straight, so it's stretching it out. It feels good. But driving that forklift and having that repetitive turning motion for 5 hours a day, that's a deal breaker. That is aggravating the absolute shit out of my shoulders. And I had a frozen shoulder years ago from competitive swimming in triathlon. We're talking 2015, so over 10 years ago. Now, in the shoulder, there's many injuries you could have. You could have the frozen shoulder. You can have rotator cuff something or other. I don't know what the hell the term is. You can have impingement or arthritis and bursitis. And it's all interconnected with your scapula and your deltoid muscles and bicep muscles and all that. And because I've had frozen shoulder before, I can tell you this is not a frozen shoulder. Frozen shoulder is not painful. At least it wasn't for me. This is an impingement, I can tell. And it's to do with the tendon that connects your bicep muscles and shit to your scapula. And anyway, so basically, if I try and scratch the back of my head, or I tilt my head, like this is as far as I can get my left hand without any pain behind my head. Now, if I were to put earplugs in, you guys put earplugs in, you do this, you reach behind your head and you pull your ear open, pop it in. Well, this is as far as I can do this with this arm. And tucking in a shirt, same thing. I can only reach my hand to the middle of my back, if that, without any pain. What else causes it pain besides driving the forklift? If I reach down and try to get something out of a cupboard down low, I can't even reach underneath the cupboard without it causing me pain. Anyways, yeah, motorcycling. I can motorcycle fine. It doesn't aggravate my arm whatsoever. In fact, it feels better because it's stretched out and it's being vibrated, for lack of a better term. So that's fine. But I can't even pull my helmet off when I'm done motorcycling because I can't pull I can't do this motion without pain because you pull the helmet apart and slip it off your head. So I can't do that. So I have to have Sherry or Caleb pull this side of my helmet while I pull this side and lift it off, which is, it's not worth it. So anyway, I'm going to see my doctor April 7th. And I know for a fact that I just need a couple weeks off of work for my arm to just do nothing but heal. And there's a lot of paperwork involved through work, as you can imagine, and they have to offer light duties so that I don't have any time loss at work. So they have to offer light duties that won't aggravate my arm, and then I don't go on a leave of absence or medical leave of absence. And the company means well, and it is a practical solution in some cases for some people. But I'm just not going down that road. It's just, my arm just needs to basically hang and heal, and I'll do the necessary calisthenics or whatever you call it. What do you call that? Recuperative actions. I forget. I gotta flip the car around here. But yeah, so I gotta see my doctor, and I gotta have him tell them I am not returning to work. So hopefully there's no issues with that. The problem with taking a medical leave of absence is I have, think about 30% wage loss when I do that. So anyway, the long and short of it is I need to be off of work for a couple weeks in order for my arm to get better and well enough so I can return to normal duties. Not pushing a broom around or sign maintenance. We have this light duty called sign maintenance, where you go take old signs down and put new signs up. Well, I have to reach over my head to do that a lot of the times. Well, I can't reach over my head with my left arm. There's no use getting into specifics of the light duties. That was just one example. The fact remains is I need a good, solid break from work so that my tendon can heal and get better. And that's the end of the story. So there you go. There's an update. It's a pain in the ass. It took over an hour to fill out the paperwork at work because my immediate boss has to sit in on it. And then our health and safety coordinator at work also has to sit in on it and direct us on how to answer the questionnaires and fill out the forms and all sorts of stuff. So I don't envy that job, but in the end, I keep saying that, in the end, I have to look after my own health, and I am not going to prolong getting better. This has been happening for 2 months. I'm just not going to prolong it or risk re-injuring it. So there you go. You're up to date. Yeah. So April 7th, I got to go see my doctor. Tell him everything that's going on. I bring him a fistful of paperwork that he has to sign off on and fill out, which is a pain in the ass for everybody. The frustrating part for me is I've never been off of work due to an injury. I worked with broken ribs years ago, and I tacked on 2 extra days off to my regular days off just so I could heal, and that was fine. But I didn't have to take any time off of work. And then in November, December last year, I'm sure you saw or remember, I dropped a frozen turkey on my big toe, and it got cracked or demolished or whatever. And I just took 2 extra days off with my days off for that injury. Didn't have to take time off of work. So yeah, since I've been working a job like 1988, I've never taken time off for an injury. So this is all very foreign and new to me, and I just not down with it, but I've got no choice. Sometimes my arm is so bad, I can't even steer my car. I can't even do the circle with my arm. That's how bad it gets. Just as an example. All right, I'm home. I got to go massage my arm, ice it, massage it, take a handful of pills,